Hi, everybody. Look who I have. I have Miss Magic herself. I love her. I always call you Magic of Debbie Dement. I love it. It just stays in my head like that. Thank you for coming back and hanging out with us.
Sure.
How are you doing? How's your channel? How are things going?
It's been clicking along every week. I've been doing the oracle card reading, and some of the weeks I've been opening the floor and allowing some of the live chats to happen so that people can ask me questions directly. Mostly the channel has been focused on the Lumerian astrology.
Mm-hmm.
So each week we've been walking through that, but we've talked, like yesterday even, we've been talking about things like ghosts and um, different Lemurian technologies that do work around ghosts. Like for an example, Tammy Jackson her kitty cat was having some trouble with negative energy that was in their house. And so
Oh,
from one of the live chats, we walked through that and I collapsed the energy that was in there. Some of that has come back, which is fine because it wasn't a complete proper house clearing. But I mean, I've done the house clearing remotely, and I've even closed a portal remotely. So it's good work.
and it's cool too to the more we engage in these things, the more we learn how to do them, the more we get guidance about, hey, it just comes in naturally, right? There's no way to really explain how you go in
Well,
and
and that's just it. The ghosting, the room clearing things that I did, those are very specific technologies that I was taught from Huna Flash. I took a course with him. So
mm,
those were very specific cleaning and clearing technologies that I learned that have Lumerian codes in them to do
mm,
that. So it helps to clean and clear the space. It collapses the stories, as I like to say. So
right.
it helps to clear the rooms of negative energy,
Mhm.
and it also helps to zero point the things like the ghosts.
Yeah, and the last time we were together, Debbie did that for me for collapse time stories. It's
We did some collapsing stories, yeah.
Yeah, we did some stuff. And we're probably going to do that today. Of course, she always comes in and she does a beautiful healing and grounding. Um,
See what the
Juno's dog,
audience needs.
huh?
I will see what
What?
the audience needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Changes.
Juno's dog is named Juno, and
Right.
she's got valley fever, and if she's
Sure.
15, let's see. Oh, sorry, I missed the wrong one here.
Sometimes the comments jump.
Yeah, they do.
I've had that before where it's like, whoops, that's not the person I was aiming for. But to answer Juno's question, Juno, I really don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but your girl is beginning to look for her exit point. And so take your time. But she's already been indicating to me that she's beginning to think it's time for her. I was explaining this to Valerie backstage. Whenever we're down here, we actually, and the animals will too, we collect all of our experiences from whenever we're down here. And so when we transition to the other side, what we're doing is we are gifting back everything that we've experienced to the collective and to the universe, into
Mhm.
a lot of people call them the Akashic records, but it's
Mm,
it's the information that gets downloaded. And so that has to be downloaded so that their soul can recharge and reclaim and reclear on the other side.
mhm.
And unfortunately, she's beginning to look at her exit stage. And I am so sorry because I really am so sorry because all of us have been there. And but you'll know when it's appropriate to take her. But she's ready.
Mm. It's hard.
Very.
Mm. And I'm sorry to.
Especially because they are a huge part of, they're our family and they are our heart. But yeah, she's been gifting me that message. At first, she didn't want me really saying anything, but that was about 2 months back. But
Mm,
she's been getting closer and closer and closer. So Anytime that you think is appropriate at this point, you could slip her over to the other side, and she would be. But yeah, she's looking at her exit.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Debbie.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Yeah, that's just it. It's. I'll say it again. We're never ready to let them go. That's your kid.
Right.
So yeah, see, she's your rock. Absolutely. So it's never easy. But I will say from her point of view, she's indicating to me that her cup is full and she's needing to tip it over onto the other side so that she can gift back the information of everything that she's experienced on this side.
They're such angels, just having the honor to spend time with them, is just powerful for them, for us, for all life. Just beautiful.
I'm sure she will be. Yeah, like this Teresa Ford. I think she'll be your wings after she passes. I think so too.
Yeah, definitely. Teresa has a question about
yes,
from art. Yeah,
sure. Yes. Some of the art absolutely does transmit the healing light codes. Like I was indicating to Valerie backstage on my channel, and it's just Debbie Diment. I do oracle card readings once a week, and so one of the card decks that I use for the oracle card readings is from Izzy Ivy. But do you see over the woman's head? Bring it a little closer, but you can see all of the codes. Those are light codes that she worked into that artwork. So when you're looking at that artwork, you're actually seeing light codes. I don't know the gal, but I do know that I personally responded instantly. So I do know that there are artists out there, and that is their gift, that they are working light codes into artwork.
It's so cool. It's beautiful.
The main thing on it, I guess, is just simply if you're drawn to it, and I know I say it a lot, but if your body is drawn to it, even if you cannot logically understand what it is that you're seeing, you're still getting the codes. You're still being activated, and your energy is still upgrading.
Okay. Absolutely, Juno. I understand that. I went through that with Buddy. Thankfully, you all were here for me with that. And Debbie was really helpful.
Ball your eyes out. I mean, I drag around rolls of toilet paper personally. I'm a messy slobber after. I know I laugh about it, but my God, I'm terrible whenever I'm grieving. It's pretty big.
Yeah, and it's hard, because I feel, well, we're all empaths. I feel the pain. I know what Juno's feeling. I know how that feels. I mean, I, of course, I'm not going to say I know exactly how you feel. We're all different, but man, I'll sit here and cry all day because it's sad. It's sad. But we know that they're angels, and we know that they came just for a certain amount of time or a certain period of time, and she is your best friend.
Juno, I'm getting a strange thing coming through for you. I'm hearing clearing the decks, new persons coming in for a new section of the, what was that? A new section of your road, pathway? They're indicating something about she's got to bow out now because she's done this transition with you, but somebody else is coming for the next section of your road.
Wow.
So
yeah, I think
I don't know if that means another pet will be stepping in. But basically, this one is she's saying basically that her chapter has finished and she is clearing the decks. Okay, hold on, and I'll just see if I can hear this proper. Closing my chapter. Time is done. Coming in. She's just indicating that there's going to be someone, something, something is coming in differently to take you on your next section of your pathway.
I was with Juno the other day. We were talking, and we were talking about something, and I saw a stage, and the lights came on, So I
Mm-hmm.
feel Juno is about to go in uh, a whole different direction, but I don't know what
Like I
exactly.
said, I
I
don't
mean,
know who the being is going to be. It could be a human. It could be another
right.
dog. It could be another cat. It could be another. I can't see who that is or what that is. So
Mm.
comment.
And we have Water Lily here. She is asking if there's
Mhm.
time, can I get a healing? Yeah, we're going to do a healing. Oh,
Yeah.
strange pain above your left
Mhm.
breast. Yeah, we're going to
Mhm.
do a healing session. How do you actually call your healings? How do you?
Mine is shiatsu. So
Shall,
it
oh, I
is.
love that.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
shiatsu, so it's meridian based, and this is going to be the same meridians that if you were to have acupuncture or acupressure, they are
Mm-hmm.
specific pathways that flow in and around the body. And so what I do is I reach out and I clean and clear any congestion or any stagnation that I find on the pathways, on the meridians, and then I also make sure that they're flowing in the correct order. Sometimes they can be accidentally reversed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've been hit or if you are like undergoing a surgery or something, a lot of times the body will go ahead and can get it going in the correct direction, but sometimes the bodies will struggle over that.
Mm-hmm. Gina just showed me this book that she bought the other day. It is fascinating. Just wanted to say it was really cool.
Sacred
Um,
geometries, sacred geometries is one of the foundations. And if you look at some of the old texts, you will find the same sacred geometries were experienced as beings, high
yeah,
dimensional beings. Oh,
I
happy
mean,
birthday.
we're gonna on I think it's next Tuesday. I'm sorry, dear, I don't have the date in my head. It's tentative. Sometime next week, Juno and I are gonna do it on my channel. She's doing like a trunk show of all the mandalas that she's
Oh,
created. I mean, it's
beautiful.
really beautiful stuff.
Yeah,
Crystals, like she has so much. We're gonna do like probably a trunk show a month for a while, but
sure.
um, really cool. I mean, and she creates all that with her own hands. Now the crystals, she does make different things, necklaces and things with the crystals, but there's just pieces you can buy or jewelry. And I think we're going to start with the crystals actually and then move along. But
Okay.
yeah, I can't wait we're going to get into that.
Mhm.
Um, how's Comet? Oh, no comment.
Comet will be grieving as well if you ease
Yeah.
her over. So
Aw,
just be kind to Comet as well. Comet may act out of character. So if they're spunky, they might actually be a bit mopey and draggy,
yeah.
um, and they'll be missing her just as much as you will.
Right. And Teresa, I've done that many a times where you just have to
Mm-hmm.
separate. It's hard. It was most of us here, no matter how old we are, we had to experience some young childhood things that got us to where we were, and that's why we've been on this healing journey, or part of why,
Mm-hmm.
and how we've been clearing all that out so we can show up and be our authentic selves. But there's, pain is pain and it's never easy. Nobody wants to
Yes.
in
What I'm going to be doing, Leah, will be
perfect.
a group surgery here,
Yeah,
or
we're
or
about to start.
Mhm.
We're about to start. Let's see. We're going to do a group healing. I'm sorry. There we go. Are we going to do group healing? Yes, or individual requests. If you have something specific, definitely write it in. And
Well, the
when,
other thing you can do too is just mentally think in your mind, or you can even say it aloud if you want to whenever you're at home, but just simply
mhm.
say, I'm going to get exactly what I need out of this.
Ah, I
Whatever
love
your
that.
thing is, I'm going to get exactly what I need out of this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Because
And
that's just it. I mean, the MP3s that I created, um, I present this as the correct flow for your shiatsu meridians that are flowing. And what
mhm.
will happen is your own meridians will begin to flow in the correct order and in the correct pathway. So it's going to work automatically. And that's most of why I created the MP3s, so that people would have that ability to have that in their own hands, you know, where it's like, I don't feel at my best. Well, you can play the MP3. That's the whole point to it, is you can play that, and it will work on your meridians, and it will help your energy system clean and clear any stagnant areas that are in there. And it will establish the flow in the correct order. Again, that's what it's there for. So if you were to go over to, I don't know if we'll probably put something like a link in the description or something, but I have a shop where it's all the MP3s are available there.
It's in the description box, and her email's there. And everything's there.
Places for contact me pages as well. So there's a contact me on my www.diment.com. And again, if you're going to my www.diment.com, that'll explain some of the healing energy that I'm doing here. And underneath the picture of the kitten is the direct link to my shop for the MP3s. But you'll see at the top of my shop, there is a contact me link. And at the top of my web page, there's also a contact me page. So I can do that for either place. Hey, Karen.
I know it. And so you can purchase the MP3s from Debbie, and then all the shows that she's been on with me, Allie, she's been with Allie, she's been with Terry from Holding Your Space. She does a healing in every show, and any of those videos you can go back and just replay that, because that energy is still powerful there. And so we're going to get ready to.
Karen uses MP3s.
Karen has worked on members of my family.
She's had some miracles worked with her critters.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we all have the. So I love how you said just get in your head and ask for everything that you need.
Yeah, I think that there's something specific.
Yeah, for your highest best.
You know, there is a dog MP3, and that's probably going to be the best for her.
Okay. It's real. What do you have? Like three or
I have
four?
4 of them now. I have cat, dog, horse, and human.
Okay.
And the human actually has a nice little one that takes you through a theta process, and it's just nice and gentle. And I've been working everybody's energy already, so we can certainly get started. It doesn't really feel like, you tell me, everybody, do you want to hear some Lemurian light codes today, or do you want to just do like a meditation, or do you want to do, I mean, we're going to definitely do the shiatsu here. I might even start with the shiatsu.
Okay. I'm open to all of it, and anybody has a preference, please type it in.
I'm not really feeling the need for the meditation thing today.
It
feels like everybody's just wanting to hop right into the meridians.
Okay.
We can do that. We'll just hop right into the meridian clearing. And we'll go back to chatting. So if you've already started feeling me, I've actually been working the energy for about 10 minutes now. And so I'm going to go ahead and, there's something that's over everybody's heads right now. What I'm going to do is, it tends to be a right brain activity for me. And so that means a lot of times I struggle with my speech center as I go over and work purely on the meridians. So I might go quiet here for a few, but we're going to get started. If you are sensitive to energy at all, you may feel me coming and going on your back or your neck or touching your face or other various points. It's just me working the energy around you. I'm only mentioning it because sometimes it feels weird to me and I'm even the one doing it. So, and if you don't feel anything at all, it's perfectly okay. Whatever experience you're having is perfectly okay, because it's going to be the energy working the energy. There's no way for you to mess this up. Okay, so I'm going to get quiet here, and I will see you guys on the other side of this.
Thank you, Debbie.
You're so welcome. Yeah, there was a lot of miasma around everybody's head, so we're just going to dissipate that instantly. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to get started on the neck. Left-hand side. And by congestion, what I mean is if you were to look at a stream and you see logs falling down or rocks in it, you'll see some areas that have turned into a swampy area. You know, the water is slowed down, it's stagnant, it's congested. So what I'm doing is I'm going in and I am removing the boulders, I'm removing the stagnation that happens in that water so that we can clean and clear that energy flow and get it flowing correctly the way that they're supposed to be. That's much better. It's a great release off the neck and the top of the shoulder. And I'm on the shoulder blades right now. Under the shoulder blades is one of our favorite places to shove things whenever we can't deal with it and we're in a hurry. So sometimes some of your anxiety, some of your nausea, some of your, I'm hearing unusual heart stuff can sometimes be from things, emotions that have been shoved up underneath the scapula and shoved into out of the way, swept under the carpet, so to speak. So we're just going to release that. If you do any yawning, burping, sneezing, coughing, or passing wind, those are just releases that are happening on the meridians as I go. And so if you could just get yourself a drink of water, what's happened is those toxins have been released into your bloodstream. That's a nice, decent release. And just drinking some water will help to flush that out of your body. Get them going out the way that they need. On the forearm, the elbow, and the hands right now. And I'm going to add some diamond white light energy to this because I know that we have some audience members who struggle with things like arthritis, psoriasis, eczemas. Perfect. Coming back up, 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 up. Good. And down the left-hand side on the back. Whoa. I do not know who needs this, but somebody's spine is just really... Yep. We're going to make this nice. We're going to do some rejuvenation here. This is for everybody that I'm working on. Doesn't matter if it's a bird, a human, a cat, whale. I have worked on whales, yes. Everybody's getting their meridians worked at the same time. And a lot of times our critters, like our kitty cats and our dogs, you'll find that they go drowsy as I'm working through this. But yeah, we're going to make the spine juicy again. We're going to rejuvenate, bring in some extra life, extra energy. Doesn't matter what your supposed numerology age is, whatever the calendar says, that's bunkum. We're constantly renewing ourselves. Beautiful. There we go. Wow. So we're actually going into the spinal fluids and into the spine, into the spinal cord today. We don't usually go this deep in, but there's somebody needing this really intense. Sometimes whenever we encounter diseases like EPM, for the horses, Lyme's can get in here, meningitis can get in here. So let's go a little more intently on this one today. That's down the governing vessel. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. That feels much better. Now I can back up and out of the bones, and let's go into the liver, gallbladder, kidney meridians. Bladder meridian. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Tight hip, tight hip. Let's get that loosened off. That felt like a dog. It's not so much that their hip point is arthritic, although it can be. It feels like the tendon is tight that's causing that pulling sensation on the hip. So let's get that loosened. Of course, that's going to be affecting the meridian flow right there on that gallbladder. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Great, 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 great. Let's go down towards the knee. That'll be stifle for the dogs, and horses, and cats. Hamstring. Perfect. No, 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 no. Sorry about that. Somebody's dog just kicked. Like, oh dear God, that tickled. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Round that off. Okay, coming up on the right-hand side. So I'm going to be working on the right-hand side, right-hand neck. Oh, wow. Humans, if you could just, it doesn't have to be high, but just bring your chin up just a little bit so that it's parallel with the floor. There's some stiffness, some stiff muscles on the back of the neck here. So let's just get that loosened off. Yep, perfect. And that might even pop where your neck joins the base of your shoulder blades there. Perfect. Okay, great. I'm going to work the scapula. So many meridians. Underneath. Great. Okay, Raymond for that elbow. And I know somebody usually hops in with a tennis elbow. Which, nice. Actually, the elbow's not as painful today. So it looks like it's tracking down into the forearm. So somebody's getting some good relief on that. Great. Great. Back to the spine.
Cool.
And as I said, if you're not feeling any sensations on this, don't worry. It's actually doing all the work for you. That's the whole point. The energy on this is doing the heavy lifting. And what it's doing is it's encouraging your meridians to flow the correct direction and to flow nice and free so that your body can get the relief. Have a bird here with a right hip, right spine. Get you a little extra there. Great, great, great. Okay. Woo. Feather wag. That means a giggle in bird language. That's funny. We're on the right hip. Great. This side doesn't feel as tight. Tracking down through the leg. Okay, we're headed for the knee. So if anybody's got a ticklish knee, it's just going to be just a little bit of that energy moving off, off, off. Great. Down the leg. Oh, that's interesting. A little extra on the shin. Spleen hook. Oh, good deal. Well done. Okay, I'm going to go up, 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 up. Okay, now I know some people had some stuff that was going on with the heart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be on the collarbone, chest, abdomen. I'm going to be working through. So if you feel anything on the abdomen, it's me coming through. Sometimes you can end up with what's called a displaced pain, and that's from a nerve that's being pressed in a different part of the body, and it tracks will show in a different place. But my main thing is I'm working the meridians on here to ensure So sometimes what you'll do is you'll get like a gas bubble, and it'll end up like a stabbing pain, either like in the foot, or it can be a stabbing pain in other locations. Let's see. And we're going to do some extra energy for the heart. This needs cleaned and cleared. There is a thing that sits around the heart that's called the pericardium, and it's protector of the heart space. It's protector to the heart itself. And it's a gatekeeper to what we allow into our world and into our heart. Looks like that needs a little bit of cleaning between the two spaces. That's not a physical, it's an energetic. We've allowed something through our gatekeeper that has entered towards our heart that we shouldn't. And sometimes things come in and we don't even know that it's in there. So we're going to clean that space up. Much better. We're going to set a nice bluish white light all the way around the heart. And now it's transitioning to a diamond white light in the heart space itself. And now we have heart light emanating back out through the pericardium, because we want this. This is a sacred space in here. Our heart is sacred. And so what we want on that is higher frequency. And that can emanate from the heart space outward. Good. Great. Great. Okay, gang. We're going to bring the energy back up. Okay, now this is a little, I'm going to go ahead and work on the face. There are 10 points on the face that I'm going to work. So if you feel me working around your eyes or your ears or your nose, that's just me coming through. Wow, we've got some stuff that's around the skull today. So let's just get that cleared. Eyes. Ears. Behind the ear, there is what's called the eustachian tube, also the TMJ. Working on that. Now we're working on the throat, the tongue, the root of the tongue. Good. Feels like quite a lot of you are starting to find your voice. So we're not getting quite as much throat issue as we've had previously. That's great. We're going to work our way back down the windpipe here. Tops of the collarbones. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Everybody, that is great. Get yourself a nice deep breath and relax. And you can come back in. And if you've done, again, any yawning, sneezing, burping, passing wind, coughing, yawning, any of that, go ahead and get yourself a nice, decent drink of water. Try to make this water that you're using, but that will help to clean and clear anything that you've released during this session. Woo! Ah, we're kind of flying high here.
Wow, beautiful.
Well
I wasn't even hurting underneath the, the wing bone.
Shoulder blades. Yep.
And then this like, it just kept doing it, and it finally dissipated. Like there was something there, but it was removed, and I don't know. I didn't even know it was there. Yeah.
You don't have to hang on to know what that was either.
I know. See, and I always think, oh, how come I didn't know that? But my neck was really hurting, so I'm glad you went to the neck today. That was beautiful. And like she said, not only does this help the humans, it helps all of our pets too. I don't know where Dot was.
Quite a lot of them.
Dot's probably
quite a lot of them joining in. Yeah, quite a lot of them joining in today. Quite a few birds today. It's been a while since I've seen the tail feathers shake. That's cute.
I know, that's so cute. What's Leah asking? Hi, Leah. If you have any time, I would love to ask how to keep too much on coming through. Oh, too much energy in coming through? Is that what you mean, Leah?
Anytime that you feel like it's too much that's coming at once, you can ask the energy, your guides, your angels, if you need. You can ask them to slow it down.
Yeah.
You can also imagine either whichever one you prefer. You can imagine hugging a tree and having your favorite tree mentally wicking off some of the energy and providing stability for you. You can also imagine being under a waterfall.
Yeah.
Or grounding into Mother Earth.
And I love that. I didn't even think about it when I put the tree up, but the tree, I love the grounding that the tree brings and the waterfalls. I do that one in my head. I wish I had a waterfall right next to me. Let's see here's where Annie Bear's grandchild today. My question is, are octopi Octurian Palladian Ascended Masters? It's a cool question. Then she has something else here. And are they energetically closely aligned with elephants and dragons?
The energy of the octopi is feke feke. And feke feke. And they have tentacles everywhere. And I don't know what the combination is with the dragons, but the elephants are support systems for the sign of the wombat, which is Nuis. And so they're either Koyapuku or Koyapuku for the elephants. And the land elephant then supports anybody that was born June 1st through the 28th.
Wow, I love that. Love it. I love it. And a lot of dragon energies. Well, dragon energies have been coming in. Whale energy, dolphin energy this morning was very powerful too. I just love so when we see the elephants here, even though they're connected to you said the wombats, right?
Yes, sign of the wombat.
So it feels to me, I don't know, like specifically, feels to me like what elephants really have a huge energetic. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
They hold a very large space, a big magnetic. Did we freeze? I think we lost Valerie there for a second. Cosmic Blue Avian, I'm not positive if they are from Sirius, the octopus, but I hope she comes back to us. I hope we don't lose the whole stream. But I'm not positive which part they are from, but the octopi are quite a big cosmic space. Okay, well, I'll just hold space until hopefully the stream is still continuing. Yes, they are huge heart space. Leah is asking if they are like horses with a huge heart space. Yes, and because they have such a much larger heart, that magnetic resonance that they hold for those that were born in the sign of the wombat. Okay. So I'm in the show. That's great. I think Valerie's maybe struggling. There we go. Okay, everybody. We're having some technical difficulties here. Yay, you did it.
I don't know what I did. But it wasn't letting me do anything. This did this to me last night. I have new equipment coming. We'll be here. I have a whole new camera and mic coming, and I have an internet thing coming. Finally. So hopefully, but if we get lost again, we will keep trying to come back in. Oh my goodness.
Too funny. So yeah, we had questions on the elephant, and yes, the elephant definitely holds a very large heart space, and it is It's considered a support being for
Yeah.
those that are born June 1st through the 28th. The other
Wow.
animal that is a support animal for that is the sea elephant.
Oh, they're so cool too. It just, to me, if something comes into my awareness, I'm
It's intended
connecting
to be
with
there.
it. I'm being asked or guided to connect to it. Randy,
Mhm.
I don't know if you want me to say this to Debbie, but she had twisted her foot and her foot was kind of swollen. If we can send Randy some extra.
Oh, it already happened whenever I was doing the energy healing.
Oh, cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So Randy, yes, the energy absolutely will still be affecting your entire room because that is quantum mechanics that we're working with there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're just using your headphone. So
Hmm.
even if you're using your headphones, if it's playing, pretty much everybody that is in that room, and in some instances, I found that it goes well beyond the walls of the room.
Yeah, she's
So
got
it's pretty much
Princess.
in that environment.
Princess is with her, so she's probably,
Gretchen's
um,
getting the same benefit as you are.
yeah. I don't. Hold on, let me see. I lost what we were doing. So give me a second. Can tell it's in their eyes. I'm gonna assume that's about the horses. I think.
And
Yeah.
we have Lakshmi with the two white elephants. I had a funny interaction with Lakshmi's white elephant. It was presenting me with a lotus flower. This has been several years ago, and
Wow.
I wasn't accepting the lotus flower that it was gifting to me. So stepped on my stomach, energetically speaking.
Wow. I just love how spirit brings us, our team brings us certain information and you just sit there and go, okay. I like this with Gino's dream. Hi, Heavenly Blessed Honey. Thank you all for sticking around with us. Sorry about the
Wow.
losing the
It's been a really challenging. Last week was quite something too.
mm,
Last week was a lot more interruptions than this week.
what I do? I took that off. Oh my goodness. I'm not even sure what I'm doing.
Oh,
Was
yeah. Pink, if I remember correct, isn't pink Pleiadian energies? I think pink is.
mm,
But basically, what they're doing is um, it's an upgrade. I consider pretty much any of this stuff to be upgrades and
absolutely
activations.
pink meaning. Let's see what the. I'm always looking up things. If
It'll
a
be a heart chakra for sure. But I
Yeah,
think pink is also connected to the Pleiadian.
calm, femininity, health, happiness, success, eroticism, masculinity, innocence. I'm not getting the origin of it, the
Starseed color.
stars. Yeah,
That's just it. You might have to connect it to the star seed.
yeah,
Because it's like which color. I mean, I'm not that savvy on the different colors for the star seeds, but some of them seem to be like the blue usually is connected to Arcturians,
right.
and then the pink I think is Pleiadian. Lyran tends to be like that golden line.
Golden, yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. That's true. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to ask specifically. Yeah, here, Pleiadians.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know if there was any other star nations that was. I'm not as savvy on the star nations,
Me
clearly.
either. Andromeda. I get a lot of
Yeah.
Andromeda stuff. I don't know why, but here's Lakshmi. This is what you were talking about before. Sorry, guys. I am just catching up because we were
That was, I
missed.
know, it just kept bumping you off. Well, she's here, she's back, she's gone. She's here, she's back, she's
I don't
gone.
know what it's wanting me to do. This is, I mean, and now I got to think about it because it happened last night when I was with Jan Shield Maiden,
Oh,
and
wow.
we got into a pretty intense conversation about the dark versus the light, the spiritual, battles that are going on. And I was trying not to go too, out there with
Mhm.
it, but I mean, it's the truth. So I always use
Sure.
we're heart-centered, soul-centered, and there are those that are heartless and soulless, and I kind of just keep it like that. But she really wanted to, and I was at her on her show, and she wanted to ask these questions, so I was happy to be there with it, but it
Gotta
knocked
go
me
there.
right off. It knocked me right out of there. I couldn't get back either. So I don't know. I don't know. It's so crazy. Sacred bear claw with
Wow.
beaver. Beautiful. That's a lucky person for sure. Let's see what else. Going to court or a job interview, wear pink. Ah, I like that. Huh. And here's Andromeda is pinkish violet, blue, white, gold, depending on the levels of dimensionality. That is so
So
cool. I
might
love
be
how,
more prominent than.
yeah, I love that. I love learning about it because, oh my gosh, there's so much we don't know. And here we are raising the frequency on Mother Earth, right? As we're raising the frequency to ascend, or however you want to put those words to it. It's pretty cool situation we're sitting in now. It wasn't always that way, but I see it as I'm honored to be here now. As before, I didn't see that. So, is there any other questions anybody wants to anything else healed or have any questions about anything at all? If we know it, we will try to uh, definitely bring in that information. Yes. What's up, Heavenly Blessed Honey? I know learning, it's nonstop. I love it. Do love it. I was just going to pull a card. Do you want to pull one of your Lemurian cards for everybody? We'll pull a card and we'll. Seems like we're getting to the end. I
Oh,
feel
like this with Leah. She says so many of us feel average as if we didn't achieve. I think that was some of that was the tricks, the filters that we had in place.
And there's that
It
dark
was
and light,
intended to make us
the
feel.
dark and the light battle thing, right? Because that was their whole agenda, was to keep us from ever waking
Disempowering
up.
us.
Yeah, keeping
Yeah,
us
that was.
separated from our heart, and that's how they stayed in power as long as they have.
Oh yeah.
And that's
We're
about to
not going to give
go.
that up easy either. It's up to
Never.
us to remember and to take back our sovereignty.
That's
That's
right.
why a lot of times people will ask me questions and they're like, well, what do you think about this or that? And it's like, well, honestly, what do you think about it? Somebody was asking me the other day, yesterday, if they should purchase a spirit box, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And so there again, it's like, what does your body say?
Exactly. Sure. You have a whole team, right?
Yeah.
And we all have a team. And our team is, if you're feeling that inclination to really need a spirit box, that's coming from you, your higher self, your team, down into your physical human body. I think that's how it works anyway. But definitely follow your own heart. The unity consciousness, how close you are to our balanced reality. I feel it's a frequency shift.
I think that's a $1 million question, isn't it? Because
what?
we're working with older. I said I think that's the $1 million question, because some of this stuff we're working with. We love numbers, we love things like that, and we know that we're at the age of one age and we're headed into another age.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to look at whose numbers are you playing with. Did they give you the correct date? Are you working with correct data? Consider the source.
And that's why we stay heart centered. Yeah. I don't give my power away to anybody. I just don't. I love being with all of you because I don't feel like there's any grabs for power in our community. Do you know what I'm saying? Like when you feel that, I leave immediately, as I'm sure most here do, right? But yeah, we've been disempowered for so long that once you figure out who you are and you go through all your dark nights of the soul and all of the things that you endure and encounter, then you get to the other side and you're like, this is my energy, and I'm protecting
My
that
space.
Yeah, it's my space. That's right. I think it's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Gina. Here we go. we were altered because we would have surpassing. I'm not sure I listen to that stuff. You know, you're energetic, free sovereign being of unconditional love and truth. That may be your truth. I don't feel that we were in competition with any other species. I guess is how I'm trying to say it. I don't know. What do you feel, Debbie? Anything on that?
Nope. I think you've answered it. I was just
And
looking at where Randy was like asking about the people being guided to Mount Shasta and channeling the meditations.
yeah,
Yeah, Teresa Ford, you're right. We've never known
mhm,
it's not normal to do so. And some of us weren't just, it's not so much that it's not normal. For
right.
so long, we've been in the Cancerian age, 26,000 years of this, where you've had to
Mhm,
hide shining your light because
yeah.
in past lives, I'm sure we've all been through it, where it was terminated early because we did shine our light, and you were
Mhm.
hanging out, so you got
Many
really good
times,
at hiding your light.
right. Many times, and you had to hide your light because you would get killed. You would be removed. You know, if you shone who that as that higher consciousness aspect of our God self, however you want to put it, is was a threat to a lot of the dark. Was a huge threat. So, you know, cosmic, you do realize that is our primary mission as avians to promote unity consciousness. Absolutely. We are unifying. And that's how I feel here with you all. I feel like we are unified.
Mhm.
But I don't know if every,
Well, any of the duality stuff is a trick of the 2D entities that
yeah,
put the filter in place. And the reason that it is in place, we'll go back to it, is very simple. Anytime that you can be pitted against one another, there is a distress energy that comes off of you. Either you are afraid of the other team or you hate the other team. Um, in all of those frequencies that come off, they feed off of that.
I do. All of that negative, any negative energy. So if they can even get us, like Debbie just said, to uh, either you hate them or you have an issue with them.
Vanilla versus chocolate,
Yeah, yeah.
raspberry versus pumpernickel. It's all kinds of things. Anything that creates a duality. Do you know, honey? I think she'll let you know
Yes,
specifically. Um, but I would say go ahead and start looking at your timing, and you'll know when it will be an honoring time to go ahead and take her to the vet, and have that space. Most veterinarian clinics will schedule it so that you have as much time as you need during that process. And every vet that I have encountered has been very, very respectful of the process.
I had to have a mobile vet the whole time I had Buddy. Now I moved back to Virginia in 2013 with him. I had him for 17 years, and he couldn't be around other people. I had all these trainers tell me, put him down, put this, that, and I couldn't do that. I knew I wasn't to do that. That
Mhm.
wasn't his. He and I were a team. Energetically, we were
You were
doing
on
things.
the journey together.
Yeah, and so I had this mobile vet. It was of course, more expensive, but it was the only way I could really get him the things he needed.
Mhm.
Anytime he needed to see a vet to have his shots, to do the things he needed to do. So she came to the house for me and did it there. And I mean, it's not easy. And it,
But
I
like I
never,
said, you'll have that sense of when when to prepare. I'm just simply saying that she's already indicated that she's ready to go.
we'll talk. No, this is what you were talking about, fabric of
Yeah.
illusion. We
Mhm.
will talk about it, in a little bit for sure. Just now, my daughter's going to start. Ah, that's so cool. Everybody's on their journey, right?
Yep.
I'm grateful. I agree. Oh, thank you. Hi, Randy. Can anyone speak to my comments, please? Any thoughts?
I
Is
think that
that,
was Mount Shasta.
yeah, I think we did. Let me know.
Mhm.
Ah,
It's
well,
well, it's just it's also I don't know about anybody else, and I can't speak to that, but my my family, even growing up, we had different gifts, and so I was warned at a very
mm-hmm,
young age. You hide that at all costs. You don't
mm-hmm,
know
mm-hmm,
outside the family that you can do that because it was a safety factor.
right. Leah, Danny Shay offers classes on shamanism. Ah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's cool. See, Leah's here. This makes sense, Randy. Okay, I'm sorry. We are altered by the
You got
un.
lost a lot.
You know what? I can't keep up. We are altered. I don't get this. We are altered by the anu fixed us. So we just had a very long period of time in that we have now achieved the highest plateau of consciousness in our now. No judgment, just observation. Okay. Oh, let's see. I hear there's 5 times in 2 years, Willie. Water Lily. I'm not sure.
She's been, I think, to Mount Shasta 5 times.
Oh yes, Randy. She
And
just.
each
I
time
mean,
with Randy, she's getting upgrades to her DNA.
absolutely, she is.
What are the Telosians? The Telosians are the people that live in under Mount Shasta. But there's a lot of different energy systems that are there too. You're going to help it along. You probably are, but they're helping you along.
Who is that saying that? Who's going to
Randy.
help? Randy going to help it along. Randy, help it help. Where's she at?
Yeah, so Leah's speaking about this, the judgments are returned to ourselves. I know this is really unpopular, but the cosmic or the karmic cycle was ended from all accounts in 2012.
Well,
However, the universe itself is a mirror. So what we put out to the universe reflects back to us. So you do want to continue putting good into the universe.
absolutely. I mean, all day long, I can feel my heart center and that love just kind of I
Mhm.
send it wherever, you know. If I'm sitting here feeling a little sad for some reason, I bless the
Oh,
water, bless the air, bless the soil, bless everything, bless all the
mhm.
animals, stuff like that.
Um, if I could speak to the Lemurian astrology right quick, because we're
Sure,
actually changing it
please.
a bit. What's happening right now is we are on the very last day of what's called Fatua, and that
Mhm,
is the sign of the falcon. So we've
mhm.
just undergone 28 days of purification is the essence of
Yeah.
Fatua. And
Yes.
so the symbol on that was the falcon. We're moving signs. The 29th, 30th, and 31st will be what's called Ma'ita days. Those are the
Right.
crystal light of days, Ma'ita. And so for anybody that's born on the
Mm.
29th, 30th, and 31st, your symbol is Ma'ita, and it is the unsorted light. And then we're going into September 1st to 28th is Namu, which is the sign of the dove. And the essence for that is peace. So that's
Yeah.
something that everybody should
Mm.
be focusing on going forward then will be the peace for the next month,
Oh, I love that.
which there with the unification,
Mhm.
you're bridging realms, you're bridging between people, and that's not to say that you have to lay down and take abuse or anything. Far from it.
Mhm.
You should be holding that higher vibe. And in fact, you can look on YouTube for different frequencies. Anything that is 600 hertz or above will be helping you to. You can play that for background music to help pull your energy system up into that peace vibration as well.
Mm. And I mean that's a beautiful message for the fall. Peace. Peace is so important, and I love how that lines up with it. So today is the last day of the Falcon. Say that name. The
Fatura. F,
Fatua.
yeah,
And
Fatura. Fatura. So
Fatua.
that's the sign of the falcon. Yeah.
And that message is about
Purification for that month.
purification. Okay.
August
And then
was
we're going into peace.
purification. And so you use the eye of the falcon during August 1st through the 28th. You're using the eye of the falcon to look over all of your stuff. Look over
Yeah.
your environment. You can do a lot of decluttering,
Yeah.
but you can also take that eye of the falcon and take a look at your relationships. How are you being treated? How are you treating people? You can take a look at your diet. You know, is this food nutritionally supporting me now? Is it not? Is there, because we are changing to a crystalline base, and so sometimes as we change, food that used to support us might not support us going forward. So you kind of have to look at that, not being mean or anything to yourself. Something may change. So vegetarians may need protein sources, and people that are more of a meat-based diet can sometimes need something more like blueberries or something else added to the diet. So that's something to consider as well. But yeah, we're moving into Namu, which is the sign of the dove, which is so pretty.
I love it. I love it.
Yay.
And yes, we're
happy birthday to anybody that's a September baby.
Happy birthday, Cass. Anybody that's here. Debbie and I were talking about this in the backstage. We're bridges, we're energetic bridges. We're energetic, actually, batteries, kind of anchoring into Mother Earth, anchoring in a higher frequency. It just keeps coming in. And it takes a minute to stabilize in that. I know I was being bounced around for years, and you're just like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? How am I going to keep going on? But
Years.
It does. Yeah. You just get, then you'll feel like you've got stability, and then solar flares will come or whatever's going on, and then it'll bounce you around again. And I mean, it's just crazy. But that's why I was saying earlier, I'm honored to be on this journey. Now these last couple years, but I wasn't always like that. It is kind of freaky to balance it.
It is. It's very disorienting, and especially as we've been raised in the be respectable, woo-woo doesn't really, connect. And so sometimes you can be thinking, my goodness, I'm bonkers or whatever. And it's like, actually, there's a whole bunch of people having the same experiences, and it's not talking about it. Randy has pancakes.
Right. Because they
go figure it.
Really good. Man, I need some
pancakes.
Oh, yeah. And I'm making a big dinner tonight. I'm hungry. Can't go in there and cook, because I do like my cooking times. I love to cook. But pancakes, blueberries, I eat those all the time. It's the only way to go.
Blueberries is a treat to your uppers. Yeah.
And yes, see, Leah and Care Bear, this is just part of one of those.
Tears of joy.
There's days where I go down and I'm crying, and I know I'm releasing on a big scale for the collective. I always used to think it was what happened to me. What did I do wrong? Well, I let that all go now, because
it's just a release.
It's a release and you're doing it. Think about the job we're doing. That's a immense job, and we all should be extremely. I don't like should be. I'm proud of us all.
And sometimes the energy comes out in that way. So, some people will have encountered me whenever I'm laughing, and it seems really bizarre, and it's just the energy that's coming out in that moment. And so it can come out and be expressed also in this in tears as well.
Absolutely.
You don't know when it happens. I mean, sometimes you can be sitting there crying, and it's like, I got no reason to cry. It's just happening.
Coming out. That's right.
Maybe I'm disorienting, but that's okay.
That's okay. And so if I look at it like, well, I'm helping the collective frequency release something of density so we can all raise in vibration, then it's okay.
Tears of the dragon.
Yeah, I love it. Tears of a dragon. Yeah, when you feel your heart vibrating, wow, that's really cool. I remember when my heart chakra blew open. Boy, that was crazy. But that I actually thought I was having a heart attack and I was going to die in any second. And I was asking, because I was so fed up with pain and trauma and all that. I was like, please get me the hell out of here. That was like 2011, 2010, somewhere around. And I feel my heart doing that, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to lay down and let it happen because I was ready to go. And
Yep.
it opened my
Yeah.
heart chakra instead. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool, though. I was kind of pissed at first, but then, after you get used to what's going on here, you understand on a certain level. That's why we're here for each other, and we're here to, help each other guide through. I mean, my experience isn't exactly like yours, but we're overall
Right.
having a general experience.
Yeah, and
And
it helps to know that somebody else has had this experience.
yeah,
Sometimes just stepping forward and saying, hey, that's happened to me. This has been my experience. Somebody that could be lurking on here that's never posted, they could be getting a huge relief going, it's not that I'm crazy. These other people have experienced it as well.
aw. Hi, Allie. Her dog went into REM dreaming. Oh,
Wonderful. That's a
that's
nice,
good.
recharging sleep. Beautiful.
Yeah. Hi, Laurie Hunsinger.
Aw.
Oh, we love you. Juno gave blueberries to her dog as a treat. Yeah, Buddy loved them. He was, oh, my baby. Um, as I understand it, animals only live in the present.
Yes.
So it seems humans are the center
Yes.
point of infinity. Right.
Right.
Cooking is alchemy. And everything
Yes.
we do is alchemy. It's cool. I love it.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Got that one again.
It was a good comment.
It was a good comment. Do that one twice. We should taste our tears, and they are sacred. And it is good to release. It helps us. Cortisol releases through our tears, right? Um, Cortisol. What am I trying to say? That's the word. Cortisol releases through the tears. I don't know what that
I just
means.
know energetically it helps. It helps better out than in. So if you can cry, go for it.
Oh, here she is. Juno knows. We release toxic proteins when we cry tears. That's what it is. Okay. Yes, emotional up and down. And this is just going to, I mean, I got to say for this,
Roller
especially
coaster.
this fall is really going to, we got,
Just go with it. It's okay.
yeah,
It
just
won't
go.
last. The important thing is it won't last forever, especially if you tend to be a depressive type person. Just remember that this will not last forever. It will. There are going to be ups along with the downs. So just cry if you need to cry. And if you cannot cry in the moment, set aside time later in the day to get yourself back into the same space and go ahead and just release that as well. Because if you stopped, what happens, and don't panic over it, but what happens is some of the stuff that I cleaned and cleared earlier with the shiatsu, if we stuff our emotions, they get stuck in our bodies, in our auras, and it can lead to trouble.
And that's where it looks like you're having the logs jammed up, right? That's how that ends up looking.
It backs up your energy and can lead to dis-ease.
Thank you, Teresa.
Only, but it is, the energy system is a component of the body. And so it's kind of like a chicken and egg thing, which comes first. Sometimes in the body will show up as something in the meridian. And the other thing that can happen is if there is a congestion on the meridian, then it can show up as a physical presentation as well.
Yeah. That's why it is so good to release, to ground, to meditate, to do the things that are helping your energy, step by step. It's an every moment thing. As we go through this fall and winter, it's going to be a little tough. We're going to have Pluto is back in Capricorn on September 1st to 29 degrees, a critical degree. Now that I don't usually want to bring that up, but that does represent government. It represents powers of authority, and they're going to be exposed, and just to understand that is, it's one of the reasons why we're here. We're holding this space as we change how the collective is understanding of.
And it's going to be allowing us to take a good look at that with a critical eye and say, I don't want a 2D entity in that. Exactly. I don't want a 2D entity or a 2D entity structure controlling me or controlling my life. I don't like to speak to Care Bear. absolutely healthy for you to consider that this didn't happen to you, it happened for you. I
Yeah,
absolutely agree. And
yeah,
one of the things that can be happening is as you go up in your own frequency, it will allow you to be released out of a job or out of relationships that were not in alignment for your highest good. And so you're going to be going into a new situation where it will be in alignment for your higher good.
hmm absolutely. And it's, at in the moment, it can feel pretty crappy, but then but see, you got it pretty quick. I
Yeah.
wasn't let it happen for me. Exactly. And always
At
know
least
that.
you
But
got it.
that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. Some
Yeah, it
people
is huge.
continue with that first, narrative, and that's not helpful.
Well,
Oh,
hello, illuminated Leo light. Thank you, Leah. Ah, yes, this illuminated Leo light was magnetized and aligned to this channel. An illumination.
beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Yeah, we love to welcome new people. Come and hang out with us for sure. We appreciate you. Where's Lori? Lori, I am waiting for my deep ability to cry to return. My son. You know, that does happen to us where it seems like we are so disconnected from an emotion because if we feel like if we cry now, like, will I ever stop crying? But like Debbie was saying, that clears all the meridians in your body. It's clearing your energetic fields when you do cry. But I understand, it's a process. It is process. Trusting the
Mhm.
process. That's about all we can do is trust the process. Not being done harming your yeah. Cleaning, they could just I know I'm going to get on it because we're in Western astrology, we're in Virgo season, and I've been having these organizational moments where I got to get things together. So cleaning's coming through.
Well, we've just finished an entire month of cleaning from a purification month too. If
Purification,
you're doing
right?
yeah, if you're doing the Lemurian astrology, then we've just finished. Today's the last day of it. Although you can always do that at any point. But yeah,
Yeah,
for the Lemurian and the Lemurian astrology, we're actually 6 months ahead
yeah,
of the Western astrology.
yeah. And I'm not. I love learning about. It's new to me. I love learning about it, but there's no right or wrong. We are
No, you
energetically
will go
trying
through what
to.
you need to learn at
Ooh,
that point
yeah,
in time.
yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Leah has a question about animals. Do they leave the body if they know death or intense pain is imminent? I don't think they have to experience pain.
They don't have to experience the pain, and
Mm-hmm,
they do have the ability to go out of their body just like a human can.
mm-hmm,
And it's up to the individual.
mm-hmm.
Um, some animals aren't as evolved, but they all do have the ability to leave the body, and it can be
Mm-hmm.
a fight, just like it can be for humans. Sometimes the ego will try to hold on
Yeah,
for as long as possible. But the nice thing about it with the animals is, like somebody else had mentioned earlier, they don't have the same concept of life and death that we do. They don't hold the same concepts of time that we do. So for them to go back and forth across the veil and to be reborn is not as big a deal as it is for a human.
yeah,
So the most important thing is that they have a quality of life, that they are not suffering down here. Um,
yeah.
so it's quite different, and you'll know, if they're ready to go, you'll know.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, I mean, they're just there's our companions. There are spiritual guides and
They're
companions.
family members. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really hard to say goodbye, and yet at the
yeah,
same time, yeah, when they're
yeah,
ready, they're ready.
yeah. And I don't want to hold their journey back, you
That's
know.
it.
And why would I want Buddy? When Buddy was here, I knew he was in a lot of pain, and I didn't want him to stay like that. I was trying everything I could
Yeah,
with
yeah. I mean, I've
CBD.
had pets in the past where they were extremely tough. They didn't feel pain, and then on that very last day,
Yeah,
the pain was just off the charts and could not be
yeah. Uh,
so that's a pretty good example right there, where it's like,
mhm.
you need to choose quality for that animal in that moment. You can
Right.
mourn and grieve later.
I like that. The ups and downs to be alive. Yeah, how to be alive. Really, it is. It's something else.
Hmm.
Aw, good for you. Good for you, Care Bear. I know it's not an easy journey, but we're here for each other. You know, that's why we do shows. We're guided. I wasn't even thinking about being on YouTube at all. That was my guides. That was not me. I will say. But now that I'm here and I know everybody, or I meet everybody in chats, and that started with Allie way back when. You know, I'm so grateful for this community, so grateful for everyone, because you know how rare it was before we met, before COVID. I didn't know anybody that was like me. I didn't even know. I thought there was something wrong with me. You know, a lot of times, even though I knew in my heart I was okay, but I couldn't understand what was going on to me, with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
And then here you are, and oh wow, that's what it was. I was supposed to come up here to meet everybody. You know, was our meeting. This was our spirit, our soul's journey, when we were to meet each other. And how ironic it was online. You know, it's just
Yeah.
you can't make it up.
How
It's so
how
crazy.
Aquarian to use.
Yeah, how quick.
How Aquarian.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Okay, Juno, she does JSJ, so she's helping. Very good. Thank you, Juno.
Hmm.
Virgo season out 3 yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy for the Virgos. I have Pluto and Mars conjunct in Virgo in the eighth house, so I understand. It's like, you know, I didn't know that about me. I was very feisty as a younger person, you know, however long ago. And that to me was always why, but I don't know. Once I saw it, I didn't even know I had my chart till recent, the last 10, 12 years or so.
Good.
Ah, yeah, that's nice. Oh
Finger
my
locks.
goodness. I didn't believe how far away I am. What kind of being is a praying mantis? Huh. They're the mantids, right?
Mantids.
Yeah, the
But I don't
mantids.
know what star system that those come from.
I don't either. You know, I know very little about them. I know that they're brilliant. Um,
Technologically advanced, if I remember right.
yeah, yeah. Like I think Randy.
Are you talking? You're talking the mantids, like the actual star beings, right?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I assumed that she was. Yeah, praying. What kind of being is a praying mantis? Be fearless. Cards is very powerful. You may wish to make a practice of holding each finger. Okay, that's Juno. Sorry. Randy was texting me saying I was missed. I was gone, and I said I'm
Yeah.
back. I don't know if she knows.
It's just
Um,
a challenging time for the internet.
yeah, yeah. Especially with all of that. Oh my goodness, we were, you know, the solar flares, or the index, the KP index has been at 6. When it was at 7 that one time in May, when we saw all the northern lights coming further down.
Hmm.
Um, uh, I
We
mean,
just
this
had
has
that
been
not too
going,
recently.
yeah, and we're still, and it
Yeah.
keeps staying. And that's the thing. The sun doesn't stop doing its things. Flat, you know, the solar flares, whatever you want to call it, CMEs.
Hmm.
But to have that consistent stream at a KP 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's just been like that since May. And this
Hmm.
is why, you know, Debbie and I were talking about this backstage, where it was like, sometimes, you know, you're just like, whoo, what's going on? You know, you feel like you're on a swing, you know, out in space or something. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, I'd be lost.
some days you're exhausted and you do need to just lay down and take a nap if you can, for two reasons. One is we're getting more photons from the central
Yeah,
sun, and it
yeah,
excites our sun. And that is some of the solar flare activity that we're getting, and it's hitting our bodies. And so we need to
yes,
sleep so that we can actually integrate. You know, that is taking our carbon based system that we were birthed into a crystalline system.
And that's so important to understand.
That can be exhausting.
Yeah, it's exhausting and it can be
And the
painful.
other thing it can be is insomnia.
Yeah.
So where you're not really capable of doing a whole lot with the energy, but you've got a lot of energy. 2 weeks ago, I got knocked off my own show on my channel, and I think that was from the military that came over, truthfully. But my internet was struggling. But at the same time, that week, I had a lot of insomnia, and yet I had a huge upgrade to my heart, solar plexus, and sacral chakras. So.
It's something else. I mean, I don't think even for our community who understands a lot of this higher consciousness stuff, I, we just know that barely the scratching the surface. If we could see it for how it's really playing out, and you'd be so proud of yourself. You would honor this journey. I mean, you know, I didn't believe that until these last few years, but my goodness, my team has shown me a lot coming up until this point, So to me, I'm just grateful to be here, see it all play out, and I just listen to my inner guidance. If I'm guided to do this XYZ or ABC, I just listen, and I never have
Sometimes
any
you'll never
issue.
know why that happened. Sometimes you might find out delayed. You might look back and go, "Oh, that's why they had me do that then."
Right, right. That's so perfect because that's exactly what happens. And when we were talking on Deanne Shieldmaiden's channel last night, she kept asking about, well, what's ascension? What does that mean? Because I would say something like that. She go, I don't understand what that means. So I think
Sure.
I'm going to do a little video about basic stuff. Why are we raising in frequency? What's the point? Basically, this way we could all understand. Because if we understood this much, the frequency is everything, and this is why Debbie's here. She's helping us clear out
Mhm.
toxins, all kinds of blocks and issues inside of us, cellularly, right, on a
Mhm.
molecular level. But
Yes.
if we were made focused or aware, right, of how your frequency fluctuates throughout the day, your frequency is what is getting us to raise in vibration, to raise up in ascension, whatever words you want to put on that process that we're all going through, because something is happening and it's heart
Yeah.
centered, soul centered, and that's truth is the highest frequency, right? So if I say unconditional love is truth, really, it's the
Mhm.
truth. Now, I'm not talking about my truth, I'm talking about
The truth.
the truth, right? Yeah. So it's important to understand that distinction. But once you know that it's all about your frequency, you
Mhm.
won't do anything that's gonna. Now, I cry. I go through those periods. I go through very. Haven't been really angry in a while, but I get sometimes I can be pissed at what's going on in the world. But I clear it as best I can, and I go back into my heart. I keep returning to my heart. It's the place that is. I mean, that's where spirit is, where God is. That's where Creator
It's
is.
bringing in the new energy through that portal in your heart.
Right. Thank you. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it's important to understand our frequency is everything. I don't know if I've missed anything. I'm way behind. So yeah, you
Yep.
can. As long as they don't attack themselves. Virgos have a problem attacking themselves, and getting critical of themselves or others. And that's where, every sign, right? Everybody has a point where you can trip yourself up. It's being aware of that around you. Oh, that's cool, Juno. I didn't know that. Acceptance is unconditional love. Yeah. Well, you know
And
how you used to
totally
hear.
accepting too. I mean, if there's people that are being toxic and abusive to you, you don't
Yeah.
accept that. You
No.
need to stand in your own power and create boundaries, because there are people out there that will
Well,
do that to you.
let
That
me
will
clarify
abuse
it
you as well.
from what I'm talking about. When I say I send out unconditional love, well, okay, my channel started to say to help people remember their unconditional love and to accept that you're unconditional love. So when I say it, I mean it like that. But I would hear forgiveness a lot, and I don't resonate with it. Doesn't resonate with me. Some things are not forgivable. I'm sorry, but can I accept it? Yes. Can I look at it? I mean, over time, I had to teach myself and learn how to do that. Right? It's not easy, but over time, I got to the point where yeah, I can accept that. Do I agree with it? No. Do I forgive it? No. But I can accept it. But when I
And yeah, and you don't have to, like in the case of some of these abusive people or whatever, I've seen people where they're like, well, I have to tell him or no,
no,
no, you don't. You can
no.
respect yourself and simply disengage from the conversation. You don't have to engage with the other person at all.
And that's another thing we talked about last night. There's nobody in this world that we can change. I can only work on myself. That's it. I can't change Debbie. I can't change tried to change my ex-husband for 20 years. That never worked, like things like that. You learn, but that's that person, right? There's always that person in our lives that shows us that is you're going about this the wrong way, so
Mhm.
you got to learn from it. So I can look at him and has he hurt me? Yeah. Do I can actually accept what he's done and I can even forgive him. But there's some people I can't. There's just certain situations that I'm not saying it like that, but my channel was for all of us to individually unconditionally love and accept ourselves. That's what my channel was
That's what
I was
needs to
guided
occur.
to do. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I understand. I did not mean it like that, but thank you. Oh my goodness,
Well,
everybody's
I'm just saying it because sometimes people will, especially with women, um, they'll think, "Well, I've got to be unconditionally loving to absolutely everybody." And as women, we tend to
mm-mm,
give, um, to be peacemakers in the family or to make things smoothed over or make it okay. It's not
yeah,
okay. And so that was my main clarification for that was to ensure that
right.
anybody that was lurking and listening at a later time doesn't get the wrong idea. You don't need to be
Ab-
somebody's doormat.
No,
Um, you're not a punching bag, okay?
no,
You're worth you're worth your space living here, and you're very loved. So
absolutely. And I would never, some I think it was Teresa Ford saying down here, over time, if you haven't grown, I don't know. I think everyone here understands that they're on a journey and
mhm.
you just don't get to some sweet spot and that's it. I don't think it ever ends.
It
Right?
depends on the person. We planned things that we had whenever we came down here. Different I don't know what to call them, milestones that we wanted to tick box whenever we came
Yeah,
down here. Maybe we wanted to work on just relationships down here. Maybe we wanted to work on our abundance piece down here.
yeah.
And
I don't know.
our lives are really easy just because we wanted to have a nice, happy, easy life. And other
Mhm.
ones, we really go through the briars because we're really working on something.
Yeah,
Heavenly Blessed Honey, I'll speak to that right quick. The liver energy, whenever I was doing the shiatsu based portion earlier, it was already dealt with at the same time. Your liver was already getting exactly what it needed when I was doing the meridian balancing.
yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you. I like this, Juno. Hating others is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Yeah.
Yep, bingo.
It, it is about us. I've had to release relationships, friendships, it's not easy. It's not an easy journey. And a lot of times I'm like, well, maybe I'm too hard on people. But no, I'm saying that as my empath side, right? But I
Yep.
know why I was hard on somebody. So I have to be it's not easy. It's not easy. It says I can forgive someone and still knock their down. Yeah. See? Well that's good. My goodness. Well, we've been on here for almost 2 hours.
Hour and a
Hour,
half.
hour and a half. We love you all. We love you all. And here, as the card I picked earlier, discovering the truth. You stand in the light of truth. And I'd say that's all of
Oh,
us.
cool. Now
Yeah.
let's see what mine is. This is from
Yeah.
the Izzy Ivy. Ooh, cool.
You see?
Mine, let's see if I can get that
Oh,
up there. This is unique gifts.
oh, pretty.
So
I
someone
love
else was asking earlier about seeing the light codes.
Yeah.
You can see them, the writing that's on the edges of the card.
Yeah.
This person has added light codes into that artwork.
That is so cool. It's beautiful. That's a beautiful deck. And that's the Izzy Ivy Beyond Lemuria deck, if anyone's
Let's
interested.
see if I can bring the box. So that's Beyond Lemuria, the Oracle cards. And it's Izzy Ivy. My box came from Australia, so I gotta be honest, I don't remember how I managed to find it and order it, but
Here's Karen.
that's great.
Thank you. I was hoping we weren't boring, but I didn't want to keep everybody beyond any longer.
We're making up some extra time too for the funny little duck in and outs.
Yeah. Hey, here we are. Oh no, bye. Oh my goodness, what's this? Trees where people used to stomp their feet on the door. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Juno. Yeah.
Yep.
That is so cool. Juno has all this stuff. What all of you do. You're all just magically connected.
Yeah, Karen's saying her cat's better today. I am so glad. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Poor little baby had a rough one. She had a rough one.
Teen pregnancy. That'll do it to you.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I mean, what's oh yeah, definitely listen to the healing part. It was beautiful. It really feels good. I feel 100% better. I wasn't even feeling bad, but I feel really energized and uh, there. Yeah, play those MP3s exactly.
Mm-hmm. You've
Care
got the
Bear, like
power.
that card makes Care Bear look think of a jellyfish.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it.
Yay.
All right, guys. We love you, and we will be back next month for sure. And bring your questions. Bring whatever you guys want to talk about. We'd love to talk about it with you. Thank you. We love you. Be safe out there. Thank you, Deb.